I also already have it on BattleNet, so the value is real.
I do too, but I'll go ahead and add the other guy.
Yep, yep. He's against Findan from the Czech Republic.
What classes do you think we'll be seeing now that Mage is gone?
Warrior.
Warrior? Why do you
is
think
what
Warrior?
I want to see. Combo Warrior. You play Mana Addict and you charge it.
Oh yeah, that could be really interesting. Do you think... What other cards do you think? Do you think just those two would be reason enough to play it, or do you think anything else will be thrown
you have
into
to
it?
combo. Probably Patron. Making Patron bigger seems fun, but it's kind of an expensive combo compared to the speed of this format. Because everyone's playing really, really cheap, simple cards. Like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like,
everyone stuck to a very low curve yesterday, is my point.
yeah, I feel like Patron's too slow. Like you probably won't be able to get to a good turn 8 to play Warsong and Patron the same turn. And I feel like if you just drop Patron without Warsong, it's just going to get killed the turn after.
Even Tharsan is actually really slow for this format, so it's kind of hard to find out a deck that wants to do something that costs more than 5 mana.
Yeah.
So
I think Khauros and Findan are about
they're about
making
to
sure
start.
everything's okay, and the match will start soon.
Did you let them know we were casting their match?
I will let them know.
Yeah. They know. Fantastic. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what a proven champion of the Tavern Brawl format knows about, would bring to a second tournament.
His ideas might have been completely thrown out the window, though, now that Mage is gone. That's what he went through the whole tournament with, and now he has to start over.
Yeah, I'm aware, but that's why I want to see. I want to see if he can do it again, bring it back, you know?
Yeah. I still think Shaman will be really underwhelming, and Druid. I don't think we'll
it's just
see
classes
much of them.
that don't have that power that they use, classes that don't have the synergy as much as the other classes do, that want to play cards like Haunted Creeper and all that stuff.
I feel like Paladin would be something huge in
Yeah,
this.
we were discussing that yesterday. Paladin seems sweet.
I think maybe
Muster.
Zombie Chow, Shield and Minibot to muster for battle would be a good turn 1 through 3.
Exactly. All right,
I think the game has begun.
the games have begun. Let the games begin.
So it is Findan versus Khauros, Warlock Mirror for the first game. So it seems like both of them have an idea that Warlock would be better. A Sea Giant, actually.
I imagine that they're on different builds.
Yeah.
Because, like, the format being this new, I imagine them being on different builds. But I'm on Finland's side. Let's see if I can get an invite to spectate from Khauros. But Finland has a Flame Imp, which is not unexpected.
And Khauros actually has a Sea Giant in his deck. I didn't think about that, but that could actually be really good here. All of the minions on the board at once to get bananas, and you're taking advantage of that. Maybe even getting a 0-cost Sea Giant.
Okay.
Or not a 0-cost Sea Giant, but a
very,
ridiculously
very cheap
low cost. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with big minions is that, I mean, he might have an aggressive deck, but sometimes it's harder to get full value out of them while you're still. Maybe it's harder to get, value out of the really big minions when everyone just has a bunch of tiny tokens and runs over them.
Khauros once again running, or I guess he was inspired. He's running Trogzor. I don't think he was running Trogzor last tournament.
Or he could just not have drawn it.
Maybe not.
Interesting though, Trogzor, when the mages are, I guess Trogzor might be better when the mages are gone because the format might be slower.
And they don't have Fireball to clear it.
Yeah, we didn't actually see a lot of fireballs yesterday, though.
If we did see Fireballs, I think we only saw one actually drawn, maybe.
Yeah, we saw one kill Trogzor.
I think the only other ones were from Antonidas.
Yes, we saw Archmage make a bunch of fireballs. We won't see any Archmages today, I think.
So getting into the game, a Dragonade egg has been playing, a Nerubian egg has been killed, and a Haunted Creeper has been played by Findan.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
So he's thinking about playing an egg and possibly buffing it up with the banana.
That would be a reasonable play. Or the Echoing Ooze, even. But he might want to get even more value out of the Echoing Ooze than he already would be.
I think saving the Echoing Ooze until a later turn with more bananas would be smarter.
Yeah. Echoing Ooze is one of the cheapest minions to combo with Echoing Ooze, because you, to combo with bananas, because the others are like 3 mana, like Questing Adventure. I think Echoing Ooze is one of the lowest impact ones. This is kind of just a 2.
Boss.
That seems like a good card.
Yeah, very. Allowing it to get buffed up and send out even more imps over its life. And rolling for 4 on the implosion, that's insane.
That is insane. Killing that off and just slamming. Yeah, we see, like, even if Khauros might play a Sea Giant now, it's still looking pretty good for... It would still look pretty good for Findan, just because of the amount of minions he has in play. He could try to trade efficiently with the bananas.
I think he's thinking about what to play this turn. He has a Wild Pyromancer in his hand, so he's probably thinking of a big play with that. He can throw it out and clear all of the imps.
I like that tech. He's kind of just preparing for the mirror, falling behind, and, you know, then deciding to catch up with the Wild Pyro.
This is going to be a ridiculous Wild Pyromancer. It's going to fill the opponent's hand with bananas. It's actually going to be 6 bananas.
Kill everyone's board, which is always nice.
It's going to be 6 bananas. He won't actually be able to draw a card.
That is a lot of potassium.
He gets a Mega Banana. Or
Mega Banana?
Big Banana, not a Mega Banana.
Did they change the mode since yesterday? What is a Mega Banana?
He overdraws a Knife Juggler.
That's not good when you have a lot of synergy with that card.
And he's buffing up the Echoing Ooze ridiculously high and probably going to kill off the Wild Pyromancer, I would imagine.
I think you have to kill that, right?
Yeah. Loatheb turn is coming up, but I would imagine he's probably going to play Haunted Creeper or Sea Giant.
Loatheb for Khauros, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
But he does draw a Sea Giant for 3.
He's a bit too behind. Oh wow, that Sea Giant's a huge draw. He's a bit too behind to Loatheb right now, I think.
Yes. He's thinking about Haunted Creepering and buffing it up, but I don't know.
The problem with playing the Giant is that Findan has bananas and he can just buff it. Buff an ooze and kill it.
But will there ever be a time in this game where Sea Giant will be that cheap?
Oh, a 2-mana Sea Giant? I mean, without the Flame Wakers always sweeping up the board, I can imagine that maybe they can't... Maybe they're not in the business of leaving it... Minions aren't leaving anytime soon, I mean.
So he actually ends up going face with all of his smaller minions, and he's actually threatening a lot of damage on board.
I like that. I don't think there's much point to killing off his opponent's... to trade off things for his opponent's Echoing Oozes. I think that's probably pretty pointless.
2 Ironbeak Owls in Findan's hand, and he doesn't really have anything that he wants to silence besides the Imp Gang boss and the Dragon Egg.
Yeah, we see the repeat double Ironbeak Owl from yesterday. Pretty impressive, really. Always, you know, that card is pretty great in this mode. It's pretty good in Constructed too, and it's always getting slightly better, but in this mode with all the bananas, it's absurd.
Even though Findan has 2 6/7s on the board, he's still thinking through this turn and even roping almost. There's so many things he can do, and it's really awkward for him, even though he has such strong minions.
I wonder if he's going to put himself in a position to try to win the game with kind of the 6/7s, or if he's going to try to race him down. Because he could control the board with the 6/7s, or he could just try to straight up race him. And he has gone for the Yeah, he's hit face with one, and I assume the second one will follow.
So he's got two really strong minions on the board. One can actually be cleared. I don't know about the other one. Probably not.
The problem with killing Khauros' minions is just the amount of bananas he's going to give him to help him clear, really.
So I don't think Khauros can actually kill the 8-9. And that is getting really intimidating.
That's a surprisingly common theme in this mode. People just not being able to clear really big minions.
Well, your polymorphs and maybe like Shaman isn't good, so Hex isn't run. A lot of the big one minion killers aren't in this game mode.
Not a bunch of fireballs. And
we saw Big Game Hunter.
Oh yeah, BGH is seen. But I guess BGH is probably played for that exact reason, because you can play him... Because you can have that effect on a minion, which is really nice.
So he's just going to kill the Iron Beak Owl and allow the 8-9 to live. But
yeah,
he does play
Lothos to try to basically not... Try to prevent him from racing. But with that Defender of Argus in Findan's hand... That might be... might be a really good Argus, honestly.
We do see the Piloted Shredder drawn. We haven't seen much of that, but I think Piloted Shredder would actually be a pretty good card in this game mode, even though it is a 4-drop.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the oversaturation of Mage, we didn't actually see too much of it. It might be back now if the format gets slower.
The Slotheb really made the turn awkward for him. He probably imagined that he was going to threaten for a bunch of damage with all the bananas in his hand, but now it's a lot harder to do that.
I like the Owl play, because you're not really expecting an Argus from your opponents, and you're completely ready to just push for damage on him. So to win, your opponent has to clear your board, and then he has to win after that.
So he probably can clear the ooze with all of the minions that will die from trying to kill it and all the bananas he has in his hand. But that is a lot of minions thrown into one.
Yeah, but you do get the bananas back. So if he keeps only one around, he still gets to banana it up.
But he doesn't have a taunt or anything to keep Findan from attacking face with his 2-3 or 2-1. It depends how well his bananas go to kill the 9-10, I think.
Interestingly enough, something we didn't see much of yesterday, something we actually saw a lot of yesterday, was two players struggling to draw a minion. I think we'll see much less of that in these Warlock decks, to be honest.
If they do get to the later stages of the game where they can't draw minions, they do have that hero power to draw, even though most of the mana is used by bananas later in the game.
Yeah, exactly. So that is, you know...
Almost the board clear.
Yeah, the rope's out even.
So is this lethal for Findan? Probably is with all of the banana damage. It looks like it is.
Yes, exactly.
So game 1 goes to Findan over yesterday's champion Khauros.
Must be exciting.
Maybe
They're both
he doesn't
on Warlock.
know.
It's not exactly, you know... It's not unexpected, but I think it's definitely one of the classes I expected. Maybe I was wrong, but I think I probably underestimated it while thinking about it. And it might just be the best because it never struggles with drawing minions and stuff like that.
Yeah. At least these games are going a lot faster than the Mage Mirrors.
Oh yeah, these Zoo Mirrors generally don't go very long, do they? We see Argent Squire in Khauros' hand, which is a card I honestly didn't expect to see much of because of the Divine Shield not exactly being a combo with the bananas. But, I mean, Khauros seems to think so.
Double Voidwalker.
Yeah, double Voidwalker against Argent Squire. That's one of the dream draws in the old Zoo Mirror. you kill the squire here, right?
Yeah, I think killing the squire is... Or he's going to go face and ignore both of them
And
completely.
there goes face. Smork, smork.
Maybe he doesn't want to give him bananas to deal with his cards.
Oh yeah, maybe. Could always be a... That could always be the reason. Interesting. Back to Findan here with the knife juggler still in play. He's thinking about his lines, but that knife juggler sticking means so much for a deck playing a lot of minions.
I think he's thinking about what minion to play. He goes with the egg, interestingly, and the knife actually
Yeah, he was
hits
thinking about Nubian egg for a bit.
The knife actually hits the egg twice. That was probably the worst outcome.
Ideal at all. But I think he's still in it with the juggler there.
Yeah.
Voidwalkers will protect it for a bit more, I think.
A 2-mana Sea Giant. That's pretty ridiculous.
2-mana Sea Giant, not a common sight, exactly. Yeah,
lots of 1-damage minions.
Khauros can actually kill off Juggler and play Sea Giant, interestingly enough. That is going to be a 1-mana Sea Giant because of the Haunted Creeper.
And getting even to 0 with Echoing Ooze.
Deciding... No, it'll only... Oh, yeah, you're right. Wow, that is crazy. But he silences the Voidwalker, right? To kill off the Juggler? No, he decides against it. This is looking very good for Khauros, though.
Very intimidating board for Khauros. Mortal Coil, actually, John. Do you think that would be a good card in this game mode?
I don't know. It depends on the cards you have, your opponents are playing. That's the thing about Mortal Coil. It's never depends how good it is. Never depends on your deck. It depends on your opponent's decks, and maybe it seems pretty good in this mode, honestly, because of all the tokens, and you have a cheap cycler. You know.
Yeah, you can kill the Sea Giant here. Decides to use the 1/1/1 banana instead of the rotten banana.
Yeah, makes sense. Clearing Sea Giant is probably a good play there, just because you have to. Yeah?
I think he's probably going to Mortal Coil one of the 1-health minions instead of Rotten Banana as well.
Yeah, got a cycle, and you can always use Rotten Banana for different value even, so... Juggler straight into the 4/3. That board looks slightly less intimidating now.
Yeah, he really tore through it.
Yeah. Powers of potassium.
So, Wild Pyromancer, he actually has 4 copies of the same banana.
The big banana?
The regular banana.
Oh, interesting.
So it seems like he's going to use a bunch of bananas and drop down the dragon egg. Maybe even buff it instead. Yeah.
Yeah, but a minion's probably going to die in that time frame between your opponent's turn and your next turn. I think you might as well save it just to keep a banana around.
Findan only with 1 minion in his hand.
Yes, indeed.
Khauros thinking about which minion
It's kind of one of the reasons Mortal Coil might be less good, just because you have to have minions in play.
Yeah, he played around Mortal Coil there. By keeping all of his minions at 2 health.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, because now because you already have spells, the kind of zoo spells that buff your minions, in play, you might just want to change them up to spells that don't really spells that kill your opponent's minions are worse in this mode because they're not your own minions, is my point.
Yeah, you really want to use the bananas so you can buff your own minions and kill the opponent's minions.
Exactly. That's why I'm not sure about... That's why I'm not sure about the Chosen Mortal Coil, but Findan very behind here, with only Nerubian Egg and Abusive Sergeant here. Implosion. Zombie Chow and Draw for Khauros, so he might have gone for both the Chow and the... what's the other card? And the Argent Squire package for all the 1-drops. Oh man, a Druid won a match.
A Druid won a match in the tournament? That's really surprising.
Beat a Rogue even. Hunter has won a match. I'm looking over the bracket. Exciting stuff. Maybe it's kind of the old school fast Druid with a bunch of token makers in Savage Roar.
Yeah, Violet Teacher was really common in Druid a while back.
Yeah, that sort of deck. Maybe it's just a Teacher Druid.
So Khauros getting rid of Findan's entire board. And Findan actually,
one card from his hand.
Yeah, milling the Haunted Creeper.
Yes. It seems this is over for Findan. He can't play... I assume... No, he might not have lethal. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 15 with power roaming. Yeah, he's not too close to lethal, but... It's a pretty scary board either way.
And he does have the Nerubian Egg, so even if it does get cleared, that will spawn.
Yeah. The awkward thing here is that he probably has to hold the Abusive Sergeant. And it's another minion that's not going on his board. And here, Khauros can just power roaming his own egg to kill his opponent's egg, and then...
Oh, he has double power roaming.
And then he could reasonably trade his 4/2 Whelp into the egg, or into the Nerubian from the egg. So... Interesting stuff happening here. Owl top decked for Khauros.
I think he has 19 damage in hand with the double power roaming.
Yeah, it's reasonable to assume. I did the math earlier and he had 15, so 19 is probably... He saves them for next turn. He can also do the old power roaming big game hunter.
Yeah, that is true.
Tap for Findan, finds piloted Shredder. And quick concede coming out from Findan here.
So that makes the series 1-1, I believe.
Yep. Gonna go to game 3 here in a blazing fast match. Another Hunter won a match. Blue Lithium, one of the round 4 players from yesterday, is playing Paladin. I want to see that deck. We have a Priest as well.
Priest, I could see that doing well. A Shaman actually lost.
The Shaman lost? Aw. Do you keep Owls here? He keeps 1. That mulligan's really greedy, though.
I think keeping Owls is definitely good in this game mode.
Yeah. You'll just always have an opportunity to sound something. Khauros having a similarly slow hand, though. They're both going to get up to a slow start. This might be kind of a grinder.
Yeah, no 1-drop.
Coins out the Nerubian Egg. That makes a lot of sense after he draws the Abusive Sergeant.
An Echoing Ooze drawn, but he can't really buff it with anything, so I think he's either going to go with Haunted Creeper or Nerubian Egg.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if you silence the Haunted Creeper if you're Findan.
Silencing the Haunted Creeper would definitely be something that you could do. That seems like most of what people silence.
I like Imp King Boss here. I mean, because if you silence, you deny him 2 bananas, which is pretty absurd. He just plays Imp King Boss.
Yeah, I think playing Imp King Boss was stronger there because he didn't draw one of the buffing bananas for the Echoing Ooze.
Yeah, definitely. Also, in this matchup, which is kind of just a creature mirror match, I think you can definitely hold Echoing Ooze and just make huge oozes.
Yeah. An implosion for
4.
That's the second 4 roll.
4 imps for Khauros. And looks like Findan might have been about to implosion back, but with that Knife Juggler, you might want to hold off for a couple turns.
Yeah, Knife Juggler implosion is really strong and constructed, and even strong in this game mode. Because you can buff those imps after they're spawned.
Yes, definitely. He can, yeah, I don't know, you can Abusive and kill Imp Gang Boss, but it just gets so little done. You can actually Juggler, Abusive, and Banana. And you can deny him 1 Imp buff Imp Gang Boss, which is nice.
Yeah. He's really mulling over what he can do this turn.
Yeah, it's not a great position. I think I like Implosion, though.
Yeah. Khauros sitting with 2 Echoing Oozes in hand, but no bananas to buff them with. Hopefully with all these M's he can get bananas to buff them.
Yeah, I think that's about to change with all these bananas. Goes for the Abusive Banana. Kills off one of the imps and has a reasonable board to show for it. Though a rotten banana drawn for Khauros. Oh, well, there's a normal one. And Wild Pyro, fantastic here. He can use it and kill about 5 imps.
But he is scared to use it because it will spawn the Nerubian.
Yeah. I think he'll go for Echoing Ooze here, though he did draw a second Rotten Banana, so that might be suboptimal if he gets another good one. No, there's a big one. Okay, never mind. He's probably going to go for it. He has to be aware that his hand is actually full right now. Yeah, that's correct. He has to get some more bananas in hand. Oh, a big banana picked up for Findan as well.
Just buffing up the Echoing Ooze.
2 5/6s? Yeah, seems good. Do you know if Findan is playing Power Roaming? I haven't seen any from him yet.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure about how good of a card Power Overwhelming is.
But with all these tokens and eggs and Echoing Oozes and all that, I think it's definitely good. Yeah, I think you play Imp Gang Boss here and just buff it with Big Banana, and then you kill one of the 1/1s, and next turn you just Juggler Implosion.
Yeah.
I think that's my line. And then you turn 7 Dr. Boom. Goes for the Implosion now. Not a good... Not as good as Findan, as Khauros' Implosion.
I think that's the only non-4 roll that we've seen so far.
Out of 2 Implosions, yeah, seems reasonable.
An Imp Gang Boss drawn. He can clear his entire board.
He can, yes. Unsurprisingly, he can clear his entire board when he has 2 huge minions. He can just double Rotten Banana, which is nice, and play Imp Gang Boss. The scary thing here is, actually it's not that scary, he might overdraw, but I wouldn't be too scared of overdrawing here.
If anything, he could just throw a Rotten Banana at his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually using the Wild Pyromancer instead. Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Maybe he's just want to establish kill them for cheaper. I guess this way it doesn't overdraw at all. And now Findan no longer has the option to Juggler Implosion, but he can Juggler Shredder and hope he hits the Wild Pyro.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh, he has the Rotten Banana. Yeah, he can Rotten Banana though. Okay, well, he got the Juggle anyway. Yeah, I like buffing the Gang Boss over the Juggler.
Yeah, 2 strong minions have stayed on the board for about 3 turns now. It's showing in the HP amounts. Khauros is taking a pretty large lead.
I think he should tap here to try to find a power roaming for lethal.
Yeah, that definitely would be smart.
Otherwise, he can just clear the Juggler with the 5/5 and ignore the Imp Gang Boss. I don't think it matters too much at this point.
Yeah.
He can actually swap the Imp Gang Boss, though. Looks like that's what he's going to do.
He's buffing it up and clearing it with the BGH.
Oh, that's a good line. I didn't see that, man. It's crazy. Kills the Juggler and leaves him with a sad Dr. Boom in hand. And a Doomguard. Doomguard actually seems better in this mode because you can discard the bananas.
Yeah, but you might not get to the point where you can even play it.
Yeah, it's pretty slow. But still.
This card's 2 bananas. But I think this might be it. It is.
Yeah.
Or actually, he's 1 damage off.
Oh, even with a Rotten Banana? Oh, man.
He needs to tap.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 30 life. Tapping isn't too risky, but...
And he's got 2 power overwhelmings left in his deck, I believe. It's a pretty decent chance. Or an abusive.
there is lethal.
And game 3 goes to Khauros, taking Findan out of the series and winning once again.
Yeah, victory for the home team.
So he advances to round 2.
Yes.
I think we're going to find another game. I assume most of the round 1 games have completed.
Yes. Let me refresh the bracket real quick.
There is a Hunter versus Rogue that is going to happen this round.
I want to see the Paladin versus the Warlock, I think. Do you agree with that?
Paladin versus the Warlock? Yes, that would be interesting. Blue Lithium versus Flying Bear.
That's the one. Okay. Let's get that one. Oh, they've already started. We'll just jump in and spectate them then.
Sounds good. So a huge board of spiders for the Paladin already. And Flying Bear seems to be running Stone Splinter Trog. It couldn't have spawned from the Shredder because he's just now getting to turn 4.
Interesting. So we were actually talking about that yesterday. Trog